Hi guys, my name's Jake. I'm an artist and illustrator, and today we're going to be drawing and talking about my favorite comic book in the whole entire world, which is Seven Soldiers of Victory. Okay, so some quick context before we get into the actual art. Seven Soldiers is a comic series written by Grant Morrison, featuring art by Fraser Irving, J.H. Williams, and Ryan Sook. So it's safe to say they got some powerhouses in here. The premise of Seven Soldiers is pretty much a bunch of mini series, but the fun thing is it's all kind of woven together in intricate ways that leads to a grander plot. So it's all super connected and intentional, which is awesome. And another great thing about this series is that it features a lot of underdeveloped and niche characters that don't get a lot of love, and they are just done so well in here. And one character in specific that we're going to be drawing today that's in here is Klarion the Witch Boy. This version of Klarion is like the best one I've ever seen to date. I love him so much in this, from the art to the background to just the character dynamics. It's all so good. So yeah, let's talk a little bit more about him in the series and draw.
Okay, guys, so I was finally able to write up a little recap and have time for a voiceover. So let's get into it. So the story starts off in Limbo Town with the Witch People, a light blue skinned race of practitioners living in a dark, recluse town, using dark magic and abiding by strict religious rules. We're introduced to Klarion, a young rebellious witch boy who just wants to grow up and learn his community secrets like the rest of the witchmen, who at a certain age are brought up past the wicket gates and taught the truth behind the old stories that bind them to this plane. Klarion is very quick to question the rules around him. This community's economy is run by Grundies, dead ancestors resurrected and binded to work in the mines. All members of Limbo Town will meet this fate eventually. And the town is led by Judah, their puritanical leader who enforces the Book of Shadows and keeps the rules in place. A quick fun fact about the Grundies in this story is that they resemble Solomon Grundy from, DC Comics 2. My little headcanon is that somehow, even though Solomon Grundy is from Gotham and the Slaughter Swamp, my headcanon is that there's some sort of connection between the waters of this place and the waters in Slaughter Swamp, which as I explain more it will make sense, but that's my tea. That's my headcanon. Anyways, we learn of Croatoan, the witch god that the people of Limbo Town serve devotedly. The people serve Croatoan and his Book of Shadows to preserve against the taint it was that condemned them and their ancestors to this town, away from the blue rafters above. Klarion learns tidbits of story and existence through a man in the village named Ezekiel. Ezekiel kind of acts as his stepfather ever since Clarion's father disappeared as a rebel from Limbo Town, but no one really knows what happened to him. Ezekiel tells Klarion that once he becomes a witch man, he will be baptized and taken to Croatoan, the witch god, who exists past the Wicket Gate and the High Market. And he explains that there's tunnels and darkness and rails, which is, the area that only these witchmen are allowed to access once they're baptized. Ezekiel also explains that during he was a part of the search looking for Clarion's father, and he said that he found something cool years ago that he's held on to, and he pulls out a Kit Kat wrapper, and Klarion sees this and he's awed. So this kind of hints that what exists outside of Limbo Town, past all of the darkness, is the real world. They just don't know it. Their leader Judah finds hints of a presence of fairy-like people called the Sheeta, in the town that they're in, this recluse little town. He finds this little fairy person, and he's like, the Sheeta are coming. We learn more about the Sheeta, but this freaks all the witch people out. And Judah, with this information, he wants to close Limbo Town for good. No more going past the Wicket Gate. No more going into the darkness. None of it. Hide and close off Limbo Town for good. Klarion is very upset by this because that's his one goal is to get baptized as a witch man and go past the gates and to learn about what exists past Limbo Town and everything outside. During a big conflict with a monster known as a Horrigal, which is the combination of a witch man and his familiar. Every witch man and person in this town has a little familiar. Clarion's is the cat Tico, who's actually in this drawing. And so, yeah, Horrigal's kind of like a combination, or like a big monster combination of a witch man and his familiar. But during this conflict, Klarion goes to warn Ezekiel about the Horrigle's presence and that's like attacking people for some reason. And he does something bad and he goes past the wicket gate into the darkness that only witchmen are allowed to go to, which is a big no-no. And when he does this, he comes face to face with the Horrigle attacking everyone. So he ends up running from the Horrigle, going deeper and deeper, going past the High Market into the darkness to escape the Horrigle. Eventually, like when he's running, he's saved by an unfamiliar witch man whose name is Bade. Bade ends up distracting the Horrigle, and in the darkness, out of nowhere, a train just comes and hits the Horrigle. And Clarion's like, "What the heck is that?" Because he's never seen a train. He's like so confused. And so this guy Bade is like, "You're welcome," and he just walks off. So Clarion's like, "Well, I'm already here," so he follows him. Bade tells Klarion that the tunnels have become his home ever since he became a witch man, and he decided just to leave Limbo Town behind and exist in this darkness. In their travels, they encounter trains, trash, and lost children for some reason, who Bade explains that all these lost children are known as the Leviathan. They kind of like skulk in the shadows, and Bade tells them that their lost children banded together to form like one single creature, which is why they're called the Leviathan. Bade even shows Klarion where their so-called witch god Croatoan exists. It turns out it's just a big, dark, empty room with chains hanging from the ceiling and just a singular dice on the floor. Which Klarion ends up taking. And Klarion even recites, "Maybe Croatoan once lived here, but now he is gone and left Limbo Town for themselves." So it kind of proves that there's no Croatoan and that the witchmen who are baptized know this information, assumedly. What happens after that is Bade ends up betraying Klarion, trying to turn him into underground traffickers who work for someone named Mr. Melmouth in trade for booze and contraband. I guess since he can't get those, since he's like living in the darkness underground here somewhere. And it turns out that all the lost children who are the Leviathan were killed by Bade. So that's why these like children like skulk in the shadows around him, is because they have a vendetta against him because he's pretty much trying to sell kids. Klarion ends up working with all of these kids, the Leviathan, and pretty much killing Bade and the traffickers he's trying to bring Klarion into. And so in appreciation, these kids take Klarion and they just lead him deeper into the darkness. And it turns out that all of this darkness is underground New York City. It's like the subway tunnels like deep in. And so as they lead Klarion, yeah, it's the subway tunnels. There's a lot more to explain with this, but it's a whole thing, so I'm just going to give you a taste of Clarion's existence in the story, and if you're interested, totally recommend reading this story. It's insane, and the apex that happens after this is just so good. So yeah, this is my piece. I don't know where I put it on the screen, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the little recap of this story and how Klarion exists in it, and yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. Bye.